All right. Okay, everyone. So this is our first quarter. We finished Jan, Feb, and March. So we are in April for the intentional living. So usually what we do in this quarter, for some of you who were not on this platform last year, what we do is every month we come together to discuss our challenges, and then we set our intentions for the next 30 days, and we stay accountable to each other. And then every quarter we review our goals, what happened. Hi, Lynn, good to see you. Yeah. So, and then every quarter we review what happened and what went well, what didn't go well, and what are the challenges. It's a more a time of reflection for us to come together. And then we set goals for the next quarter, next month, and we stay accountable. It's that really that simple. But it's also going to be very reflective for all of us because it's important. We are very good in putting a task list and a to-do list. Like I put my task list for the next day for myself on my mobile, and then I'm going to tick off. But we never stop to end of the day. We never really stop to say, right, okay, I finished this or I did this. We never stop to do that, but we keep on adding more, 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 more. But what does the mind need is the mind needs a time to celebrate its wins, not about you. It's about telling your mind, like, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. It's almost like encouraging a child. You go for a physical training or a workout, even if you do anything or you don't do anything, your physical trainer is always saying, awesome, you're doing good. So it's not that you are a child, but that encouragement is needed for the mind. Before it falls down, you have to give it what it needs. That's the exact thing we are doing here with the intentional living, that we are only taking care of the mind and giving that feedback to it so it can move forward, because you're never encouraging the mind, but you're always on the task list, more, more, more. So you will never be naturally good enough because the mind is never told or informed it is doing good, right? So that's the reason why we come together in intentional living. So we celebrate, and then we reflect on the things that we could not do, we could not finish, and if there are any other form of challenges. Sometimes the things that we cannot finish are the blocks that we are not able to cross in our minds. So we beat ourselves up for not doing, but perhaps in the first place you may not want it, or in the first place that is not something you're really interested in, but you will be beating yourself up for wanting to do it more, more and more. So anyway, so that's the reason why we come together, and it's called intentional living. Yeah, and I think I was going through the March, what we discussed and what's the conversation about. And I thought we had to reiterate that because this time, energy, and willpower, we had to realize that as much as that energy is unlimited, the universal energy is unlimited, because of the lifestyles we have adopted and because of the busyness that we have adopted, in many ways, we have to realize our energies are directly proportional to our busyness, because the more busier you are, the less you breathe. The less you breathe, your prana or your energy is limited. So you have to use it wisely till you build this tank. This is like a bank deposit. So the breathing that we are doing every day morning is the tank that we are, there's a bank deposit. We are depositing our breath into the bank, and that's the energy that we will be using. But we didn't do it all these years. So we had to realize that we depleted, like, so we don't use credit cards so much. I mean, if you're a wise, financially wise person, you don't use out your credit cards, do you? You try to say that stay within this your debit card balances and you don't go overboard with your credit cards. Same thing with this time, energy, and willpower. It's very important. And the second thing about time, energy, and willpower, which I wanted to reiterate today before we go into this conversation, it's almost like, I used to have my friend's grandmother. She used to eat lots of food, but she forgets that she had that food. So she's always hungry. She's not hungry because she didn't eat. She's hungry because she forgot that she had food. Can you see that? So your stomach is full. You got all your calories, but she forgot that she had food. So she's always hungry. The mind is the same. Time, energy, and willpower. It forgets. and it tries to act in its own normal way, but it forgets. So we have to exercise that will to say, yeah, we are going to utilize this time, energy, and will based on the bank balance I have got, right? So, 20s, you don't eat food, you can still thrive. You don't sleep, you can still thrive. Experience that. Yeah, days and days will go on, right? You hit your 30s and you come to 40s, and then you're like, no, that you need your sleep, you need your basic food. So, energy changes, right? So, but did you also experience the transition that you don't eat and you think, why am I feeling tired? I used to be okay. Did you experience that? And you beat yourself up, oh, I'm getting old. But that's forgetting that we had our food or we didn't have our food, forgetting. So that time, energy, and willpower is very important to use this triangle wisely. Otherwise, we beat ourselves up saying either we are aging or we beat ourselves up because we are hungry, we beat ourselves up because we are feeling tired, we beat ourselves up, but it is time to respect that body because all these years we didn't build our bank balance. So now we had to build our bank balance by getting that energy in. Easiest form is to just breathe. That's what we're doing. All right. Anyway, so that's the time, energy, and willpower. So please exercise that will. And thank you, Lynn, for using that. So we're going to start off today reflecting on the last 3 months, Jan, Feb, and March. So even if you didn't join for the last 2 or 3 months, it's okay. Still go on with your reflections. And from now on, continue that book that you're keeping for your intentional living for the goals. Is that clear? So what we do is what I ask is to keep a notebook so then we know what we are doing month on month and we are accountable, what challenges are coming up, because sometimes our challenges are the reflection of our minds, not necessarily the task that we have to finish. So then we know our progression and anything, any conversations come up. And if you share, then in my conversations, I can actually reflect and share about that. That's the whole idea. So even if I don't directly address it right now, then and there, but because of you sharing, I will talk about it, and that's how we're going to work on it. All right. Okay. All right, so let's get into our reflective hats. We'll quickly think about the last 3 months. And after that, I'll try to be quick and we'll finish it sooner because Andy has got some amazing stuff to share that will keep us more accountable for the next 3 months. All right, that's what we're going to do. All right, okay. So, what I want us to do is think about the first 3 months, the Jan, Feb, and March until date. Think about your first 3 months, reflect on it, and first, all I want you to do is to write about everything that happened well for you. Like you finished something, you completed something, or you managed something well. So I want you to acknowledge that and write down everything. Maybe it's a commitment. It's a commitment to just sit quiet for 10 minutes. What are all the things that we finished, we completed, we shifted, or if it happened in the past, you would have reacted differently, but now you chose a different reaction? Or the lifestyle changes that you made, maybe perhaps going to bed early, or like me, no mobile to bed. So everything stays in the office, so nothing goes to the bedroom. So, what are those small changes? They are not small changes. All the good things that have happened. to you in your life that made you happy? Not just the completions, even something that yeah, that's a good thing that happened. Maybe a small getaway, or maybe a small gift to yourself, or changing jobs. And see if you can do something business, career, and also personal. Personally, what did you complete, or what did you think differently? Not just work, not just about children, not about what happened to them, their lives. What did you change or do differently? What did you let go? Did you declutter anything? Did you start something grand? Did you finish something? Did you change something? All right, 2 more minutes. If you think you finished everything, now I want you to think what else. If you think I've written everything, that's when I want you to think what else. Two more. Okay, thank you everyone. So while someone else is still writing, please do. But now I want to ask you, I want you to just find one more thing very personal to you that you're happy about, that's not on your list already. I want your mind to go there. And for some of you, just to be here is such an achievement, it's an accomplishment because we overcame that. So I want you to write one more thing that is not on your list already, but which is very personal to you. You did that. Because some of you experienced grief, some of you lost some of your close people, some of you experienced emptiness syndromes, some of you experienced making this huge shift of coming out and sharing something. So, what is that one thing that shifted? Personal, very personal to you, which is not on your list already. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So now from all those things, I want you to write this one big thing also on your list, that what you just identified. What else? That last one, add it to your list. And of that list, now I want you to write, circle three things like they define my first quarter. Three things that they define your first quarter. Like, oh, that's a good thing that happened there. Doesn't matter whether it is personal or business or it is somebody else, it doesn't matter. Three things that they define you. Yep, that happened. Which can be, does not have to be quantifiable. It can be a simple reflection that eased you up. Yeah. Did we all get the three things that define your quarter? All right. Right. So now I want you to just step back and I want you to look at your list and I want you to acknowledge that you did it. You made those changes. You completed that. You started it. You changed it. You navigated through it. You overcame it. I did this. I overcame this. I dealt with it differently. I made this shift. I showed up. I made this commitment. I realized. I am now strong to say no. I am strong to say yes. I'm strong not to control. Acknowledge that. I'm strong to see through those attachments and let them be. I'm strong to take that first step, to do things on my own, to be free from someone's identity. These are all the things you did on your list. Now I want you to step into challenges. What were your challenges in the first 3 months? Mentally, physically, career wise? What were the challenges that stopped you or that prevented you from doing something or that tripped you into emotions? What were those challenges? Be open. Fears, secrets, not wanting something to happen, not wanting to let go something, or being too flexible, or you had a plan and that didn't go according to your plan. What were your challenges? You wanted to be good with your healthy eating habits that failed, or you wanted to move but you couldn't move enough. You wanted to have quiet time but you didn't have enough quiet time. You wanted to accomplish something or finish something but you didn't have a better strategy, so you fell into emotions, or emotions overruled your strategy and practical thinking ability, or you're too strategic and practical that you ignored your own emotions or someone's emotions, you pushed. Or you pushed your body into sickness because you cannot say no, or you don't want to meet someone's expectations, or you don't want to fail somebody's expectations. What were those challenges? You got so busy that you didn't take care of yourself and to realize you're being a peacekeeper or keeping people together. You started off with excitement and could not finish, or you finished something and struggling to start. Or routines have changed and struggling to get back into a routine. What are those challenges? Secrets that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to share. What is that fear holding you back? Challenges, reflect on those challenges. Anger that somebody is not understanding you, so you lost your temper with yourself or with others. You were not mindful and you fell into emotions. Sometimes our own ego and pride will stop us from seeing things. I had something like that yesterday. You're not wrong, but still, you had to keep that ego and pride away and look at it objectively. You cannot fight for others to say you're right. Sometimes you have to admit, yeah, that's okay, but without being submissive. So, are there moments when you pretended to be submissive when you don't want to be? Are there moments when you were arrogant when you didn't want to be? Are there moments when you were stubborn when you didn't want to be? The tasks, maybe just simply making good meals, planning your week, is that a challenge? Coming home on time from work, is that a challenge? Overthinking, overdoing, overgiving, not giving anything at all, fear of losing it all. One more minute. Yeah. My son didn't listen to me. My daughter didn't listen to me. My co sister was annoying. Challenges. Thank you, Lucia. Yeah. So if you're done with the challenges, now I want you to go a little more deep. And then I want you to ask yourself, what was the real challenge? All the challenges you have written so far would have been the symptoms of one challenge. And if you have to reflect on that, what was that one? If you just pull that out, everything will drop. There is no challenge. What is that real challenge? Ask your mind, it will present it to you. Stay in that reflective state. Ask your mind, what is the real challenge underneath all of that? There's one thing, if you pull that out, like yesterday, I had to think about what was the real challenge. And it came out to me that it's the ego in me. And I'm like, okay, I surrender. And that drops everything. Other person may be wrong, other situations may be wrong, it doesn't matter. What was the real challenge underneath? Is it not accepting, as Lynn said, not accepting that you have to work with your energy levels? Is it not accepting that people are different? Is it not accepting that people can have their own opinions, they not be yours? Or is it not accepting that your purpose with the job is over and it's time to move on? Or is it not accepting that your role begins, a new job begins, maybe as a mother with empty nest, or a second job, or career change, or doing something on your own, or it's time to take care of yourself instead of being a family person? What is that real challenge that you're not seeing or your mind is not seeing? Yeah, thank you. And if you're comfortable enough, I want you to put that real challenge in the chat box. What's that real challenge? That's something I can address. What was the real challenge? What did you observe? Olga, I hope your leg is okay and you're okay. Are you feeling better? Overthinking, I want to write this down because that's something we can talk about and the coming platforms, newsletters, or challenges. We will talk about that overthinking. Ignoring physical self or physical realm. Lucia, that's not the real challenge. I want you to go dig little more. I think you're there, and I want you to go a little more. Why? What's the real challenge in honoring your own needs? Not honoring my own needs is a symptom. What is the real challenge? Mendy, knowing you, Mendy, this is your thing for you. Why? What's the real challenge in consistency and knowing you? I can stop with that for many people, but knowing Mendy where you are, what's the real challenge in that consistency and acceptance? What's the real challenge? Go there. Yeah, thank you, Mary. I think that's a good one. There is something, I think for Mary, there is something I'm hearing there, something with impatience. Yeah, so that's what I'm hearing in it. So see that. Last week or so, I was thinking, if this happened 4 years ago, I would have not been ready, though I wanted it so much. So sometimes nature or whatever that is that guides you and it presents the right things. So check that because that I was in that boat last week. I was thinking about it and I was said that had this happened 4 years ago, I would not have been ready. If this what I want happens today, am I ready? So then we gear up. I think this applies to all of us. So question that if what you want happens today, are you ready? Yeah, and then gear up for that. And naturally, you will move into that. Did you all get that? Can you just get a hand thumbs up for that? When we've all got it, because that's the key. That's how your mind jumps up. If you get what you want today, are you ready? That's where your goal is. All right, thank you. So now I want you to quickly think about of all your challenges, what you have written, if you have to access your own intuition, your own wisdom, and come up with a strategy to that one big challenge that you identified, right? That one challenge that you identified. Did we all get that? One challenge. I want you to come up with a strategy and a skill that you need. A strategy that you need and a skill that you need. That's all I want you to come up with. To that underlying challenge that is underpinning every other challenge of yours, using your own intuition and wisdom, one way, one strategy, and one skill you need. If you don't have, you have to get it. You have to take support, whatever that is. But I want you to just identify that a strategy that you need and a skill that you need. Sometimes it is good to say, bring it on and face it. That's all it is, really. Bring it on and I'll face it. It's better to get wet than worrying you might get wet, isn't it? Sometimes. Better to get dirty than worrying or avoiding not to get dirty. There's some peace in it. Bring it on. Deal with it. One strategy and a skill you need. Yeah. So if you got that, if you got your strategy, good job. And if there is anything where you say skill or support you need, please leave it in the chat box so I know, so I can talk about it, write about it, and share about it some information. All right, so now for the next 3 months, if I ask you to do 3 things that will define you, something action, 3 things that will actually move you forward from your list of challenges which are stopping you. If you can just do 3 things, make a list of it for the next 3 months, just these 3 things you have to finish, nothing else. 3 things. It can be every week healthy meal plan. That's all you will do. Or it can be every day 15 minutes, some form of movement. That's all you're going to do. Or it can be 1 hour of silence every day. That's all you're going to do. Or it can be decluttering that garage or decluttering the shed. That's all. If it is, that's all okay. So that's all you're going to do. Or stick to one program and completely look at it, see through it, like maybe a 3 months of daily practice and I'll work with it. That's all you're going to do. Make that commitment. Just 3 things. It's not the small pebbles, it's the big stones. 3 big stones in your jar. What are they? 3 big stones. What is that? 3 things that you finish, maybe for your business, for your career, for your health, hydrating yourself, and starting a completely new lifestyle with healthy diet and healing your body, healing your mind. That's all can be your next 3 months. Or it can be finishing that one more training that you want to accomplish. You want to give a support. It can be movement. The next 3 months, that's what you're going to finish. It can be a book that you're almost done and you want to write another 100 pages. It can be asking your children to find their own place. Yeah. All right. Did we all get that? The next three things for the next 3 months. Did we all get that? All right. Okay. All of us, can we now collectively set these intentions to finish those three big rocks that you put into your jars? Can you make a commitment to yourself that you're going to achieve that? And I want you to put that in your notebook. So when we catch up for next month, I want you to give me an update on those three things. Can we all make that commitment? Those three things. Thank you. Make a commitment, and I want you to see it in your mind that you did it. I want you to see it in your mind. You did it. Thank you. Thank you. You did that. I want you to see it in your mind that you did that. Right. We all get that. Thank you. And now take one more moment and give the energy to each of us on the screen. It's a collective energy. With this reflection, with all your good intentions, your good hearts, give that energy to each other. May you accomplish everything that you want. Give that energy, and we are the support system for each other. Give that energy. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. So, consistency and practice, we will continue with that. And intentional living, you're all on FB group. So, please make use of that. Any challenges, you need some little nudge. I'm feeling this way. Leave it there, and one of us, all of us, can support each other and go together. All right. So, stay accountable to each other. Intentional living, that's the group where we all can say, okay, I need some push today. I'm going to finish this, or I'm starting something together. We can do that. All right. So, be with it. And thank you everyone for this review and for this reflection.